Yes, welcome to our final video in the series of 5 players City could sign in 2022. Today we're focusing on left backs. 2 days ago we did our strikers option, and yesterday we did our midfield option to replace Fernandinho. So if you've not already looked at them, you've not already watched them, go check them out. But yeah, today we are focusing on the left back. I'm proud to say, Bray, this series has been sponsored by the GOATs at Manscaped. If you don't already know what Manscaped does, you know what I mean, they provide us with the tools to get the job done. And I'm talking about ball shaving technology, lads. We all know that we all get the pubic hairs down there, and sometimes you can get a bit of a jungle, to be honest, and it can become a bit of a chore.
Nah, you don't want a jungle.
No, you don't want a jungle, and you don't want to be using scissors or none of that stuff in it. So this is the brand new, it's only recently released, Lawnmower 4.0. It's got ceramic blades. It's got skin-safe technology to avoid all the nicks and stuff. You know what I mean? That's what that is. That is probably the best thing about it, to be honest. It's got a torch. It's wireless. It's waterproof. It's absolutely mega. And you can get 20% off today and free shipping if you use the code EXTRA, XTRA20 at checkout, manscaped.com. Thanks a lot for sponsoring the video. It does help. And yeah, like target. We'll go for 1,000. And subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Right, okay, left back first on the list, Bree. We spoke about this guy a lot. I really like him. He has, I think, last year signed a new deal at the club, but it's Lucas Digne.
Digne, he's absolutely sick. He's mint.
Just move on to the next one.
Next one. He's mint. City getting this guy. Everton will absolutely rinse us. They'll rinse. He just signed a new deal, a new 5-year deal or whatever it is. There's probably not a release clause in that. So, you know what I mean? We've got no chance. He's absolutely mint. He's absolutely mint. I think he's like 28 now or something like that. It actually shocked me at how old he is, because, you know what I mean? I thought in my head he's still like a young player, but he's mint. He's smashed it for Everton. He's really good. He can take free kicks in that. I think he's scored goals as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll have good goals.
He's a very decent left back, and he can do both attacking and defending, which is kind of sits. And
as well, bro, I've seen him playing a back 5 as well on the left side of the, you know what I mean? Which is obviously we don't need that. You know, we got Ake, Laporte. We're well equipped in that, but you know what I mean? It's always
an
good
option,
to have players who can play more than one position. Very good player. Really like him. I'd love him to be at City, but he's only recently signed a new deal. It's going to cost a hell of a lot of money, and I just don't think this is a goer. Next on the list, someone who always is mentioned in our streams, it's Kieran Tierney. Obviously moved from Celtic to Arsenal a few years ago for relatively cheap. I think he's had a few injury problems, but to be honest, guys, recently he's just not been playing well. Like, I've seen a lot of Arsenal games recently, and he's been pretty bad, man. He wasn't good against City either. He was pretty pony in that game.
He was trash against Chelsea.
Yeah, and I just think, you know what I mean? Does everyone just think, oh, go and get him because he's cheap and he plays for Arsenal and it's going to be a mint deal? I think sometimes you actually just have to look at, if a player is cheap, and we said this about Zakaria yesterday, sometimes they're cheap because they're not good. You know what I mean? And I think Kieran Tierney is an okay left back, but you know what I mean? If we're signing a left back, I want a left back to come in and displace Zinchenko. And if Kieran Tierney comes in, he's my backup left back. And I just think, what's the point in that? You know what I mean? So for me, nah. I know he can have good games. I'm not saying he's not. You know, he can have good games, but I just think, nah.
Yeah, he was rumored to have a very good future. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure how old he is now. I think he's like 23 something like that. I'm not sure.
Well, he needs to go back to the future where he was decent, because now he ain't decent.
Yeah, so he needs to fix up, really. Fix up. I think, I mean, he could be an option, but like I say, only if City are going for a backup to Zinchenko. I'd much prefer to have Zinchenko in the side than I would to have Tierney in the side. Yeah. So that's your issue there. So, and if that's the case, he needs to be cheap. Because you can't go spend big cash on a backup, you know what I mean? That's pretty much what Arsenal do. They go spend loads of money on a B team when we don't need to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Next on the list, and someone who we were linked with last season, actually, and it's Tagliafico. Now, this guy almost got a move to West Ham. He was very heavily linked with there. Apparently, everything was pretty much done. I think it was the fee was agreed pretty cheap as well. It was like
20 mil?
Was it like something like 20 million as well, so pretty cheap. However, that deal didn't get done for whatever reason. But he's an option, guys. He's currently playing at, I think, is it Ajax? You know what I mean? He plays for Argentina as well. I don't know if he actually fully plays for Argentina. I think he does, to be honest. I think he's their number 1 left back, but I could be wrong on that. And a good option, you know what I mean? Like, the thing is with Tagliafico, is you can bring him into the football club and he can start as a backup to Zinchenko and then work his way in. You know what I mean? So because you're not paying mega cash and the next person on the list, you'll understand what I'm saying. Because you're not spending mega cash, you can say to him, look, you can come in, but you're going to have to work to get into my team. And he will back himself to get into the team because he'll look at it and go, well, your current left back's not a left back, so I should get into the team. So it's good for him, it's good for the club, and it's good for Zinchenko because it pushes him forward. This is a good option. It's a good option, relatively cheap. And I think, it could work. It could work. It could also backfire and be shit, but it could work, bro.
I just see it in my head. I feel like it's a year too late. Like, I feel like, well, maybe 2 years too late. I feel like we were linked to this guy for quite a bit last summer.
Yeah.
And that's when I feel like we should have gone and got him. But then again, even if we bring him now, we're getting him very cheap, like you say, he'll bring a lot of experience to that left-back side, which Zinchenko then can learn from. Like, the days are gone of saying Zinchenko isn't a left back because he's very much a left back. The guy's pretty much a seasoned left back, bro. He plays there all the time. So it'd be great for Zinchenko to learn from someone like this. And this guy obviously can be good enough to take Zinchenko's spot and start in the first team as well. And obviously, which will push Zinchenko, like you say. Yeah. And obviously, the cheap side of it is obviously very good. But the fact that West Ham agreed to deal with him and stuff, maybe he'll go there in January or next summer. Maybe that is something that they've worked on because they couldn't get the deal over the line. But
City
maybe City could swoop it.
Yeah, you'd like to think his spot. We could get that deal done. I would also say, bro, next summer he'll only have 1 year left on his contract.
Ooh, how old will he be next summer?
It'll be like 29, 30. Yeah, his birthday is 31st of August. He just turned 29, so yeah, he'll be 30. But if you've got 1 year left on his contract, you should be able to get him out of the club for like 15 million.
15, 10 mil, something like that.
So, that's cheap, man.
Easy.
You know what I mean? So, look, that's a good option. Let us know your thoughts on that one in the comment section below. The next one is a dream.
Dream team, this one.
But it's a dream which needs to end because it definitely ain't happening. It's Alphonso Davies, now obviously the Canadian left back currently playing. He's currently playing at Bayern Munich. Brilliant left back, still pretty young. He's contracted, long contract. I think it's 2025, so it's going to cost mega cash to get out. The only way this deal gets done is if this guy says, I want out, you know what I mean? I don't want to play here no more. I want to get off, you know what I mean? Which, he's not going to do because Bayern gave him his chance and he's taken it. So he's a brilliant left back. We'd all love to have this guy at our football club, but let's be honest, it's not going to happen.
He would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Honestly, he'd be unreal.
I wonder how much money you'd have to pay to get him out of Bayern Munich. Big contract, 2025. Young player, promising, probably one of the best young players in the world, like coming forward in that position. It's got to be like 70 million, 80
bro,
million.
I reckon you'd have to break the 100 mil barrier. You'd have to break 100 mil to get this guy, bro. How promising he is, bro. He's unreal. So, like, and especially with him being contracted until 2025, bro, Bayern would absolutely rinse any single person that tried to go for him. It's crazy, actually, because Barcelona rejected this guy, saying that no one from Canada is a good footballer. So, I mean, no special talents come from Canada. And this guy came out and they absolutely smashed it. He used to work in Mackey's, you know. His manager at Mackey's told him he'd never be anything. And then
I've got one, bro. I've got one. He was once making Big Macs and now he's making big stacks.
Oh, big stacks! That is big.
But yeah, we're gonna happen, isn't it?
It's not happening. Yeah.
Final player on the list, and we've spoke about this guy before. It's Theo Hernandez of AC Milan, a very good player. He's still pretty young at only 23 years old. He'll only have 2 years left on his contract at AC Milan next summer, which, that's good. I think you can probably get him a little bit cheaper than maybe obviously a year ago or 2 years ago, where you're probably paying like 50, 60 million. You might be able to get him out of the football club now for 35, 40, maybe a little bit more. He's played European competition. This guy's a very good, and I'd still say young. I'd still say he's promising, you know what I mean? Because he's still only 23. This is a good option, man. I know a lot of people do like this guy, and I'd say, is this guy probably the most spoken about in our comments and live streams?
Yeah, well,
you guys, I think he's probably the most popular left back that you guys speak about.
It was Nuno Mendes, but do you know what I mean? Rest in peace, the Nuno Mendes deal.
Happening.
Like, that obviously is dead. So this is now the next guy who is spoken about the most. I think we mentioned this in morning shows quite a few times, and everyone mentions this guy. This seems to be the go-to. And I think it's realistic. Unlike the Alphonso Davies one, that's very unrealistic. This one is a realistic move for Manchester City. I think he'd be incredible in our side. I think he would come in, and I think he would take Zinchenko's spot, which could raise Zinchenko's game. You know what I mean? Then you know what I mean. Basically, then it's them two. They're fighting it out. Just how you have Cancelo and Walker on the right side, you'll have Hernandez and Zinchenko on the left hand side. I think it's a very, very, very good option for Manchester City.
It is, and you might be able to get him for a good price given his contract situation. Only got 2 years left. So look, some good left backs on there. Some left back on there, which isn't great. Let us know your thoughts. Out of them 5, who would you go for? And is there anyone else that's up and coming? Which there will be, because I know you guys like watch every single football match in the world, innit? So you'll know another left back that we've not included. Let us know in the comment section below. We'll check them out and see whether or not your football knowledge is a good one or not. And we can also see,
because we're the ones to judge.
we are the judges here. You know what I mean? We basically, right, the situation is this, yeah. You tell us the information, we have a look at the information, and then tell everyone else the information.
Yeah, we relay. We're like a middleman.
We're the middleman, innit?
Basically, no, bro. You tell us the information, we look at the information, then we tell you the information that you told us.
Yeah.
And then you believe it. And that's the way it works.
But on a real, there's another guy. We spoke about him last year. He's in the French league. Can't remember his name. He's in the French league, up and coming. And he was a lot of people liked him in it. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Go check out manscaped.com. You know what I mean? If you've got hairy balls and you want a solution to the problem, go get this, the Lawnmower 4.0. It is genuinely mint. You can get the performance pack, which includes a pair of boxers, some ball toner, some ball deodorant. And if you use code EXTRA20, XTRA20, check out, you'll get 20% off and free shipping. Massive thanks to Manscaped for sponsoring this mini-series. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series. We obviously did our strikers, midfielders, and today with our left-backs. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If there's anyone else, you have any suggestions, let us know in the comment section below. We'll always have a look at them. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit.